tell the story because, everything that's going on with Randy Moss, our thoughts and prayers are with him. But I always tell the story that he used to call you fucking coach. The day you came in and we had to announce our names in front of the whole team. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Can you explain that?
So I get drafted by the Patriots. It's 2009. Randy's coming off like this unbelievable time.
Years.
Yeah, he's been crushing it. And, it's a little bit before the veterans start coming around the building. But when we have OTAs, we have the mini camps and things like that, Randy's in the locker room. And I remember it came in waves. And I'm sure you felt the same way. It's like, oh, my God, that's Tom Brady. And then it's like, oh my God, that's Randy Moss. Like you're playing with these guys now, but slowly but surely it starts to feel more normal. You start to realize, these are just my buddies. We're playing football. It's all the same as it was in college or high school. But there was this weird thing. He gave me this nickname and it happened immediately. I have no idea why, because we barely spoke to each other outside of passing by each other in the hallway or outside the meeting rooms or on the football field, or on our way to the football field.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, what's up, coach? He called me coach. So Randy would call me coach. Everywhere, we'd be waiting in line. He's like, oh, yeah, coach. I know you're going to get on this pot roast because you look like pot roast, coach. And you big fat fucker. I bet you, you're going to have 2 pieces of pot roast? Yeah, I bet you. You know what? Have three. Randy with the West Virginia. And so I'm like, oh, my gosh. I'm like, maybe it's like I'm in, man. Like he gave me a nickname. Like I'm telling people from back home, like Randy Moss gave me a nickname. He really likes me.
That's what I'm telling you. It was so cool that he had a fucking nickname. He was so funny. He had a nickname.
Yeah, like immediately. I was like, this is the best. And then it's standard, it's customary. Bill Belichick at one point or another in the offseason, he has all the rookies get in front of the room and say their name, who they are, whatever it was. And so I get up there, and I can't remember if it was in the meeting or immediately after, but Randy Moss pulls me aside. He goes, motherfucker, you a player? He goes, you've been a player this whole time?
I think it was in front of the whole team.
You gray-haired bitch, I thought you was a coach. He was like, you a player? Oh, hell no, Bill. Did we waste a draft pick on this motherfucker? Are you kidding me? He was like, was he going to go out there and break a hip? God damn, Bill. And I'm just like, oh my God, that was not a nickname. It was not a nickname. He thought I was a fucking coach.
He thought he was a coach.
How unbelievably embarrassing. I mean, I told everybody. I was like, yeah, Randy really likes me. It's going pretty well, gang. Yeah.
Dude, now how does Dante Scarnecchio have you and Matt Light in a meeting? And can you explain the dynamic in a quiet Logan Mankins?
Yeah.
I want to hear how it was from your rookie perspective.
So I walk into the room and Matt Light is a Pro Bowl offensive tackle. I mean, he was like Batman. Like, you'd be like, gosh, how are we going to, they got to change this light bulb. And all of a sudden he'd take something off the bat belt. They'd be like, boop, 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 boop. And he'd like unscrew the light bulb. And he'd be like, it would be funny. It would be funny if we replace it with a firecracker this way when they walk in and smoke detector. He always had like a prank he wanted to play. I'm just like, Matt, what the fuck? But he always had all these toys and these gadgets and these things, and he always had ideas. He's a big idea guy.
Idea guy.
Love being around people like that. So Matt's in the room. You have Logan Mankins, who's this Central Valley, California shit kicker farmer who is just roughing dudes up on the regular. Literally could grab like a 300-pound defensive tackle, upend him, stick him in a trash can, kick it over down a hill like it's nothing to him. He had the strongest goddamn hands
huge
I've ever shaken in my entire life.
He was wrapped around your wrist.
Dude, yeah. You shake his hand, you're getting an elbow massage.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. So Logan's there. He's a Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame. He better be in the Hall of Fame one day. He's incredible. Steve Neal,
wrestler.
They found him. He was like a freestyle world champion wrestler. And then I think it was Philly's practice. Philly signed him first. He was on practice squad, got cut, signed by the Patriots or whatever. But he ends up working his way to starting offensive lineman in the league, played 10 years, 11 years, whatever it was, won 3 Super Bowls. Like incredible human being, like the nicest guy you ever met.
Loved Four Locos.
Loved them, dude. And did you ever go on a taco run with the Four Locos with Steve?
The little place in Pawtucket?
Yeah. Dude, I can't, dude, it was, that place actually served great tacos.
Really good tacos.
Really
It was like
good
a fucking
tacos.
mobile home.
Yeah, it was. So Steve was there in that room. Dan Copen.
Cope.
Cope.
Cope's the best.
Dan Copen, never without a dip in his lip, and was just so snarky, and he had this nasally voice, and he'd be like, fucking Ohrnberger, class clown over here. We'll see if he makes it kind of guy. But I love Dan. I learned a lot from Dan. Like, Dan was the type of guy who would, like, bully you, and then he would teach you, like, the lesson you needed. It would, like, unlock something in your brain. You'd be like, holy shit, that's how you see this? You know, whatever it is, a line call, an adjustment on a play. He was just a brilliant dude. And then I'm trying to think if
You
I
remember
missed
Donald?
Donald.
Were you around with Donald?
Yeah, well, we crossed
Thomas?
Donald Thomas for, like, only an off season.
Because they put Matt put a real duck in his fucking locker after practice.
Oh, didn't he do this for like a year?
Yes.
And he had ducks show up in different parts of his life for a year.
Yes. Another weird story was
Nobody
Nate
knew
Soldier
where-
had a pet duck.
Nobody knew where the ducks were coming from, by the way.
No.
Like, he would find them in his helmet.
Yeah.
He would, like, be putting his helmet on. He was like, another duck. Like, it was a problem for Donald. It was a problem.